Hello guys, most welcome to my YouTube channel and the crash course of psycholinguistics. So far we have discussed a lot about psycholinguistics. In this video we will discuss about language and thought. If you have not yet subscribed my YouTube channel, please subscribe. I will be much thankful. Okay, so without wasting any further time, let's start our discussion on language and thought in psycholinguistics. Piaget, Vygotsky, classical theorists like Plato and Aristotle, J.B. Watson, and Sapir-Whorf hypothesis. We will discuss all of them one by one in this video. Okay, in psycholinguistics, the study of language and thought explores the relationship between these two complex cognitive processes. Language is the system of communication that humans use to express and understand thoughts, ideas, and emotions. Thought, on the other hand, refers to the mental processes involved in forming concepts, solving problems, and making decisions. Okay, one major question in the field of language and thought is whether language shapes thought or vice versa. Piaget, 1972. He says language is dependent upon and springs from cognitive development. Now Vygotsky, 1962. Social interaction through language is a prerequisite to cognitive development. Okay, what does classical theorists like Plato and Aristotle says? Categories of thought determine the categories of language. To them, language is only the outward form or expression of thought. Okay, now here we have the behaviorist J.B. Watson, an American psychologist and the founder of behaviorism. He says that thought is language, thought is subvocal speech. That is, when we think aloud, it is called speech, and when we speak covertly, it is called thinking. Okay, finally, we have Sapir-Whorf hypothesis. According to this hypothesis, the structure and content of a language can influence the way its speakers perceive and think about the world. There are two main versions of this hypothesis. Number first is linguistic determinism, and the second is linguistic relativity. Okay, so what is linguistic determinism? Linguistic determinism proposes that language determines how we think and perceive reality. According to this view, speakers of different languages perceive and conceptualize the world differently because of the linguistic categories and distinctions available to them. For example, if a language lacks words to describe specific colors, speakers may not notice or distinguish these colors as readily as speakers of languages that do have those words. Okay, linguistic relativity, on the other hand, argues that language influences thought but does not determine it. It suggests that language can shape our thinking to some extent, but it does not restrict our ability to think outside the linguistic constraints. For instance, speakers of a language that uses gender pronouns may attribute certain characteristics or behaviors to objects based on their grammatical gender. However, this influence is not absolute, and individuals can still think beyond the limitations of their language. Okay, now here we have supportive studies of linguistic determinism. Research in psycholinguistics has provided evidence supporting both linguistic determinism and linguistic relativity. For example, studies have shown that the existence and availability of specific categories can affect perceptual judgments. Research on color perception has found that speakers of languages with fewer color terms have difficulty distinguishing between colors that fall within the same linguistic category. This supports the idea that language can influence perception. Okay, now here we have some supportive studies of linguistic relativism. Furthermore, studies on bilingualism have revealed interesting findings. Bilingual individuals often exhibit different thought patterns and cognitive processes when using different languages. They may express different personalities or decision making strategies depending on the language they are using. This suggests that language can shape the way we think and express ourselves. However, it is important to note that language is just one factor among many that contribute to cognition and thought processes. Other factors such as culture, education, and individual experiences also play significant roles in shaping our thinking. Moreover, recent research has shown that thought processes can occur without language, such as in preverbal infants and individuals who have lost their ability to speak. In conclusion, the study of language and thought in psycholinguistics explores the complex relationship between these two cognitive processes. While there is evidence to suggest that language can influence thought, it is not the sole determinant of how we perceive and think about the world. The interplay between language, culture, and individual experiences contributes to our cognitive processes, and further research is needed to fully understand this intricate relationship. Okay, thanks for watching the video. If you have any query or any question or any confusion, you can ask in the comment section or you can message us on Instagram or Facebook.